Hey, Orange One here. So I wanted to show you guys this one game, and it is sped up right now to times 2, um, because I really like this game. This land is my land, but it takes a long, long time to get a lot of things done. You have to kind of sneak around it. Essentially, this game is you're this Native American tribes member doing like guerrilla war tactics in the frontier, and so your tribe's been wiped out and you can kind of roleplay as like an Apache warrior, like Cherokee or any of that. It's kind of like you're kind of a mixture of all of those. But you can do all these neat little abilities, like you saw me earlier. I was holding down E and that let me do some abilities. And I've got a couple different abilities, and one of them's like that throw rock, which you saw me just do to try and lure some people out. Didn't really go too well. I did see that there was this patrol behind me, right? And so I was figuring, okay, I should probably deal with this patrol before I get sandwiched between them and the base. They didn't really turn down that road, but I figured, hey, they got some good gear on them. I might as well try and take out the patrol, yeah? By the way, there's gonna be a kill relatively soon in like the next minute or two. But this game, there's a lot of, if you're trying to be sneaky and like doing this like Apache style, you're gonna wanna do a lot of waiting and be really patient. And you can clear out most places with like the starting skills as long as you do something like this. Where you're like hiding in the bushes. Oh, and if you saw me crouching down even lower there, if you hold down X, you're hiding as much as you possibly can. And if you're hiding in these bushes, the enemies won't see you very much. Okay, so there's the first kill. So you get some good experience for those stealth kills, but basically how that works. Oh, did you hear them just say something there? Because it's sped up by 2, everything sounds a little bit off, and all the people sound like, I don't know, like cartoon characters or something. But yeah, as I was saying, like, I think I was saying, talking about the stealth takeout, those melee takeouts do make some sounds, so you have to be a little bit careful. But they're about as quiet as it gets. The bow's probably a little bit quieter, but the enemies do hear the strings when they get pulled back, so you do need to be kind of careful with that. But gosh, I've been playing this game like yesterday I played for a majority of the day, to be honest, which I don't do very often, but this is a really good game. I'm not gonna lie. I'm glad that I discovered it during summer. Because it's just so fun to do that. Oh, and that guy, actually, we got a little reward for taking that dude out. He must have been one of the guys that... There we go, another one. Yeah, so if you get killed in this game, basically what ends up happening is... Sorry for the weird cut there. I think I had to like pause or something. And then I came back to the base. I totally lost my train of thought there. You can see it's kind of hard to aim. You're not like a total dead shot in this game unless you get the right skills, then you can be. But you can see how the jumping around like that is like absolutely critical in navigating around these bushes. I think I got this episode down to about half an hour, but this is about an hour of actual in-game gameplay, you know? And it takes that long to take out 11 people. This is not Far Cry, you know? At least if you're trying to really be sneaky about it. They don't have chain takedowns is what I'm trying to say. But I do have to say, as a person who loves the Far Cry series, this game definitely does scratch that itch. And it's just fun, you know? It is a little bit frustrating. Yeah, it is a little bit buggy. It is an early access game, so it definitely does have some kind of bugginess, and it's like, wait, that was a headshot. I don't know how that other dude, yeah, that other dude saw us. And he hit us with a shotgun. Ouch, right? So I'm not really sure what I want to do with this game, if I want to turn it into like a Let's Play series or if I want to do more of like tutorials. This I'm kind of doing a hybrid of the two, talking a little bit about the strategies I'm using and also kind of doing a little bit of um, conversations, but I'd be happy to do more specifics about some of this. The game does actually have an in-game tutorial that's decent for the beginning stuff, but I think there's some splaining to do around some of the other mechanics in game. Like they do tell you about how to activate the abilities and whatnot, but when you get an ability, it's just like, okay, now use this. And I was having a hard time using some abilities. But you can craft all these different things and you can find ingredients on the ground and you can create these objectives like this. And it's pretty useful for on the fly because you can make medicine, you can make yourself more arrows, you know, all kinds of good stuff. But you can actually also assign villages to do that. So this character usually has just like get resupplies at the villages. But at the beginning of the game, you're gonna just be making it all yourself. And I think at this point, I was like, oh, I've got like half health after that shotgun. I'm hurting, you know? And I don't think I had any of the buckbrush tea. So I couldn't just use that to heal up either. But you know, this game is, it's beautiful. One of the things that does bother me is that the sound is super quiet. So I've actually increased the volume. I've put a gain of, I think, 10 decibels on this right now. And now it's like a good volume for me. And like that's cranked up all the way up to max volume. So I'm probably gonna do even more decibels for when I share it with you guys. I'll add in my dialogue and see what sounds right, like a good volume with that. As you can see, there was a pack of this buckbrush, so we can now make ourselves some tea and heal up. Did we also tell ourselves, yeah, to make more arrows or something? I'm not sure. And you do have to be careful because this is like Red Dead. There are bears and wolves and other stuff wandering the wilderness, and they will just wreck you. They'll ruin your day. Oh yeah, and you can make these things like grass bait, and then you can have animals come get tempted. So I did a little bit of hunting here. I'm not sure why I was doing that. I've forgotten why. I think I might have just been playing around with the grass bait because I think it's something relatively new. Ooh, almost got ran over there, huh? That sound that you're hearing is the sound the rabbits make, which really throws me off because whenever I hear rabbits, I don't think it's like actually rabbits, you know? Okay, so here's what I was talking about earlier. When you go to your villages, I don't know why it's doing that. There's some weirdness, kind of bugginess with the map. But if you click on a village, you get this whole menu, and you can tell them to do things like, hey, could you go collect stuff and craft this? And they have like their own inventory. I think you can see there's 9 buckbrush teas down the lower left-hand corner that they have, and some grass bait and boar pelts, I think. Or they've been told to collect that. Yeah, they've been told to collect that and make those things. So that's like their orders, and then below is the items you can select from that if you're near camp. And I was pretty close to a place that actually had previously cleared out, so I figured, okay, well, I also see if they've got any of the any good materials in here, because you can loot and get like bullets. The only way to get bullets is from looting. And someone almost saw us there. It's kind of nice. It does bother me, but it's kind of nice how like stealth games always do that. Like they give you the little arrow indicator, like, hey, there's someone right there. You might want to be kind of careful, you know? Because in real life you don't get that. Someone just sees you. Oh, man, I swear the headshots. I keep on thinking that I'm gonna get it, and then I don't. You know, I don't know how much of this game gets tracked off camera, but seeing how these people kind of change out between what camps they're at and it keeps track of them, it makes me think there's a lot that's being uh, tracked and kind of exchanged, and there's like a little economy and whatnot. And I did not see where this guy went at all, so I figured, hey, I'll just throw a stone, see if he goes over towards it. I heard some stuff behind me, but nothing. Got too close. Oop, that guy got pretty close there, though. I haven't been spotted, so he must be over there somewhere. And lo and behold, you can see him in the distance underneath those trees in the shade. And you can ride horses, but it is so weird. Like the animation is just all bizarro. And I'm still getting a feel for this game at this point. So I'm not exactly sure if you can sneak run all the way up behind them or not, or if they'll see you. I know that you can kind of sprint like that.
I know where's what are you looking for? I know where it is.
So if you look in the upper right,
please leave me alone.
Oh, there's a stag right behind us. So if you look in the upper right hand corner, you can see that he just told us about a fort. So it's like, hey, there's this fort over here. I think that fort, I have a mission about it. And so he told me like, hey, here's the fort that you've been looking for, you know, or this person that you've been looking for. So it is worthwhile to interrogate when you can. And here I think, yeah, so I have the ability to craft a better bow, but I don't have the ability to get the materials needed for it, which seems kind of weird that that's even possible. That you know how to make an item, but you can't get the ingredients for said item in this game. I mean, if I could buy it, that would be fine, but it'd be nice to have more than one. Because if you get, oh yeah, I was gonna talk about this earlier. If you get killed by someone, they take your items, and you don't actually die. You like spawn at a different place. So you can see, yeah, this is where I've got all the items in the camp. So I'm taking a few arrows, taking a couple of those teas, you know, just topping up for our next attempt at clearing this place out. Now, I have since now gotten a couple new abilities that really help with combat, and so it does go faster. This is a strategy that you can use right from the get-go, what I'm doing. Like a hit and run and hiding and just jumping out of bushes and grabbing people. And I did actually start with the spyglass with the name that I used, which is in my opinion, one of the best items or abilities in the game, because you can kind of zoom in and check things out. So if you find like a good hill near one of these forts and you scout it, then you can get a good idea of what you're running into. It totally does the Far Cry thing where if you get the right skill with it, like the leveled up version, yeah, so you can see I'm kind of checking things out. I thought the village was over there, but it was actually over here. But yeah, if you upgrade this, it will put those little red markers above them, indicating like, hey, here are these people here, and it'll keep track of them for you, right? I hate that feature. Like, I was playing, oh yeah, there's fall damage as well. I was playing Far Cry 3, and it really, really bothered me how they had that, and there's a weird kind of modding community. The game is not made for mods, but there are mods out there. And I really like this one mod that removed the map entirely from the HUD and rebalanced like guns and stuff. And it removed the thing where like they get the arrows over their head if you see them, you know. Oh, this is so tempting. But there's just so many of them. We'd have a ton of them chasing after us if we did do that. Of course, those two other dudes behind him are just totally watching. We can't really do much about that. Yeah, I mean, he's definitely checking things out. Right where we want him. I could actually hit a shot. If you look over to the side, there, a lot of the other dudes aren't even on alert. We almost got spotted there. I was watching Splattercat, and he was saying that it's a good idea to have like 30 or so arrows before you try and take out a base. That seems totally unnecessary to me, because you can pick your arrows back up. You just need to be able to take them out and not try and do a straight up fight. Like, I think what he was trying to do was just like go straight in and guns blazing or arrows blazing. I don't even know. But he was just trying to go in and take them all out, which is not what this game is really intending for you to do. Like, the people who designed this game put all this stealth stuff in. Oh yeah, did you hear that? They put all these mechanics in because they want you to be sneaky in the bushes. You know? They want you to be throwing these stones. And to be honest, the gunplay is is pretty good, but is also kind of buggy and weird, I think. And it could also be user error. But I've had a lot of shots where I've been like, okay, that should have hit. It even looked like it was gonna hit, but it didn't. Yeah, that dude is close. And they've seen us. Oh. Pretty close there. A lot of shots going over the shoulders. But yeah, if you run in a straight line, they're gonna just chase you in that straight line. So if you lose line of sight and then you turn and you go around like I did there, that will usually work out pretty nicely for you. There are items to restore your stamina. I've been learning a fair amount actually about that. Oh yeah, and the meat bait, you can get like wolves and stuff to attack bases if you put the bait nearby. It's pretty useful. I don't know. I don't think I used the wolf bait in this in the end. Things just kind of worked out, so it wasn't necessary. So you think 3v1 we can do it? And it is like a Far Cry where they do give you that second of like, oh, they've seen you, to react. Like this dude. And I actually saw that tip online. Someone said if you roll towards an enemy and then you just hit left mouse button, usually works out. And it's pretty gamey, but it is totally doable. But this one dude has a pretty good idea of where we're at, and I'm not so sure. And we could... I think we ended up just kind of hanging out for a little bit, letting him calm down, maybe leave. But it is a good idea to attack patrols. That does kind of weaken the defenses of places. I think. I'm pretty sure. That could just be what I think I've noticed from attacking the patrols, but if they are pulling people to put them in the patrols from the bases, which I think we have to do to send out our patrols, I'm pretty sure that's what the AI is doing. Like if they've got a surplus of people, they just send them out to go check out the woods. Yeah, then attacking them like this is actually really, really good. And it might actually help you with the whittling down the numbers of like a actual fort with walls and stuff. I'll take those bullets. Gun weighs a lot though. So I mean, without having the perk to increase your carrying capacity, it's gotta be pretty hard to carry like a rifle or a shotgun and enough like arrows to use both. And you can, but it's just kind of tricky. But there is one ability that I really like. I might even do a whole video on this one ability. But its implementation is not great. You guys know in like Red Dead how they have like Deadeye where like things go slow motion? They have that in this game. It's called concentration. And so you can get a skill that lets you use stamina to slow down time. But it's a passive skill, right? And there's kind of a problem with that in my opinion. And the problem is that when you start taking aim, it just slows it down no matter what, which kind of messes with your flow. And we've been spotted. And you know, intuitively, what I would like to see is like if when you press G, it slows down time, or when you press like a mouse button, like one of my mouse buttons on the side of my controller, on the side of my mouse, because that's what I use for like VATS and Fallout, or like other things like that. Is I'll put that on the mouse, and I would love to put the concentration ability on a different button, or like the ability button is G, but I would be happy to remap my abilities to like on my mouse. Ooh, actually I kind of like that idea. I might do that anyways. But it's kind of weird that the concentration just automatically slows down time whenever you aim at someone, because sometimes you want to be aiming, getting the crosshairs a little bit more precise, you know, but you don't want it to slow down or waste your stamina. You just want it to slow down just for that second that you need to take the shot. I mean, if there's any developers listening, please change that skill and how it works. I love the idea. And I've used it once or twice, and it's been awesome. Like, absolutely, really, really useful. But, I mean, as it is, it's an annoyance. And then you'll run out of stamina because it's just draining your stamina. And then you're like, oh great, I'm trying to get in a firefight and I can't even roll away or jump or anything. Oh yeah, I slowed things down there so you could hear the wolves. The wolves started attacking the camp. I don't know if they took anyone out, but it sounds to me like people are distracted and they're heading off to our right, it looks like. So I figured, hey, let's loop around. Yeah, the wolves are still going. I haven't heard them actually kill the wolf. I'm pretty sure they're still all running off trying to figure out where it is off to the right somewhere. And there's one right there by the tent. If you didn't see him, he was heading over to the left. So I decided to fall back. And you can hear that wolf. Pretty sure he's right there. And another thing that kind of bothers me is, but there's a lot of critiques I'm giving, but that's only because I really like this game and think it's really fun. Another thing that I would really like is oh gosh, I totally forgot. It still makes me laugh when you hear the people speaking when it's all sped up, you know? I was definitely considering that, taking that shot, and it's really, really far. But if we were able to take, and their numbers are pretty low at this point, but if we were able to take one out, we might be able to hide in the bushes and take out the rest. Yeah, I think that, oh yeah, there's a rabbit literally right there on the ground. That's what we're hearing there. Yeah, I don't know. It's a brutal animation, but I love that. It's very rewarding to sneak up. I was definitely considering picking up the revolver. You know, it's kind of weird. I don't know if it's done in terms of balance or realism or what, but the revolver, it's, you know, it's like a 6-shot revolver, right? But the actual rifles are all like ball shot rifles. It's like a step up above a musket. And they do have shotguns, you know, like double barrel shotguns. But they don't have like actual rifles with like multiple rounds, which is kind of weird. Like all the snipers are single shot. I don't know if that's accurate. I feel like if you had like a 6-shot revolver, you could like Metro Exodus and like just adjust that revolver so that it was an actual like two-handed rifle, like put a stock on it and everything. As it is with concentration, I would love to be able to just like dive into a camp, you know, and just like freeze time and just kind of like in bats and just like take them all out like that. Yeah, our dude hasn't seen us at all, which is great. We've got this one dude all by himself. And we're good. We almost got spotted there. Yeah, with concentration as it is, doing that with the pistol is not gonna happen, you know? It's like keep on happening. I don't know if the pistol is just really inaccurate, but I keep on waiting for the crosshair to get smaller. But because time's frozen, it takes forever for that reticule to get smaller, which is also kind of weird because if we're concentrating to slow down time, wouldn't that also mean that we're probably concentrating on our shot and therefore being able to take the aim faster? I don't know. Just some thoughts. And yeah, we haven't gotten the message that the camp's been cleared, so that means that at least one person's left. You may have seen him by now, but I didn't when I was first doing this. So I was just trying to hide this guy, just to make sure there's no evidence that we were here. Which you can totally do. You can go into a camp and there's all kinds of really interesting things, like you can like poison the food, and so you can dip in and out and poison all their food, and there's tons of really, really cool stealth mechanics in this game. I'm super excited to see how it turns out. You know, definitely something I would like to do more in the channel. I'm just not sure in what format. Let me know. Let me know what you guys would prefer. Anyways, this has been Orange One. Thank you for joining me.